Hey everybody, my name is Mr. Travis. I'm here today to give you a little rundown, a little breakdown, a little knowledge about paper airplanes. And guess what? We're going to learn to make them. I'm going to show you how. So this is what we'll talk about. First off, how do things fly? How do they fly? I want to know. We'll discuss. Now, there's all different styles of paper airplanes. We're going to talk about the different ways that you can make them, different formations, different styles that they might fly. We'll discuss all of them. And then I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorites. It's called the fly. You'll see why. Then, as always, you might have some questions. So we're going to go over some stuff. Make sure that everybody's got a full idea of what we're talking about. And lastly, we've got a sweet little assignment for all of you to complete as well. All right, so let's get back to that. How do things fly? I don't know. How do they get up there? Well, guess what? There's 4 things that actually make it possible. So, when you actually make a paper airplane, ultimately, there's a bunch of different elements that kind of come together to make this happen. First of all, we have thrust. The actual throw from your hand is what is forcing it through the air. But there's other things that affect it, right? So the amount of air pushing against it, we're going to call that drag. So as the force of our plane is going from our thrust, air coming against it, slowing it down, is going to be our drag. And then 2 other elements that really can affect it is the weight. How thick is the paper? How many folds do you have? The actual size and shape of it. All of that's going to affect how long and different acts that it can do. And we'll talk more about that when we talk about design. And then last one really kind of brings it all together, lift. That's how it gets up there. That's how it's soaring, is by we're throwing it. Wind's going against it. The weight of it is affecting how far it's actually traveling. But as that air flows against it, the actual size and shape of the wings, whether the wings are pointing up, the wings are pointing down, how small the wings, how big are the wings, that's how we're getting it up. And depending on what, we can actually have it soar through the air, or boom, it'll crash right to the ground. So the lift, or the opposite of lift, the drop, is ultimately what the wind is doing once it hits all those other elements. Now, the different styles. So as I mentioned, the size, the shape, the fold of the wings is ultimately what will make it fly. And depending on how we design our paper airplane, it's going to be able to glide through the air like a majestic bird. It's going to go high, 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 and then come down, down, down. It's going to fly. It's going to fly so fast through the air, it's going to speed right through. Or you got that distance. We're flying, and we're going. Long bumps. That's the style I like. And guess what? That's the style I'm going to show you now. How are we going to do this? How are we going to make one of my favorite styles of planes? Well, first we're going to need this paper. Basic paper, nothing crazy. But first thing we need to do, once we know that we have paper, is we're going to take it, we're going to fold it in half. Now we're going to fold it long ways. You want to fold it short ways? It says short ways? That's a weird thing to say. What is that? It doesn't matter. We'll get back to it. Long ways is we're going to fold the paper in half, right? And then we're going to take it in a nice crease dead center. All right? So we got that good piece of paper, nice crease right in the center. And then our next step is we're going to take the paper, unfold it, and we're going to take one of the corners. I'm going to start with the left corner. So I'm going to take that corner, and I'm going to fold it so that just the top part of the corner, and I'm going to fold it so I get a 45-degree angle, like the top of a house, like a roof. All right? I'm going to take it, and I'm going to fold it in so it hits that center crease, a nice center line right there. So you get a nice 45-degree angle on there. All right? We got a nice little flap there. Then, step 4, this is crazy. We're going to do the same thing, but to the other side, right? So we did it to the left side. Now we're going to do it to the right side. So we're going to take it, and we're going to fold it
Once again, 45-degree angle, right dead to the center line. So, like that, crease it. Now it looks like we got the top of the house. I want to live there. Seems like a sweet place. What are we going to do now? Well, guess what? Now we're going to take that 45 and we're going to fold it in half again. What? I know, it's crazy. But here we go. So we're going to take it. Now this fold's a little bit harder to make it just right. But same deal, you're going to fold it right in there. And essentially, what you're doing is you're taking that fold, that 45 that we made a moment ago, and we're folding it in half. We're making it 22.5. We're doing math. You don't even know it. Now, we took that 45, we folded it in half. We did that on the left side, and guess what? I know, you're right. We're going to do it on the right side as well, because we don't want it all out there all loosey-goosey. We want a nice, tight plane that we're making here. So we're going to take it, once again, on the right side, fold it right to that center crease that we made on our first fold, and once again, boom. Now we don't have a house, we got a triangle. What type of triangle? Isosceles. See, we're doing math. You don't even know. So, what are we going to do now? We're going to take that paper and we are going to fold it in half. So we have one nice, perfectly, remember that very first step we did? We folded the paper in half? We're folding it right on that same crease line. So now we got one nice straight line and one nice angle. Right there. Then, now we're at step 8. This is a big one. Big one. All right? So we're going to take this. Now we're going to actually make our wings. So we're going to take it and about anywhere from half of an inch to an inch up above the crease, we are going to fold the paper again, all the way down in a straight line. And you're going to fold the wing over, just like this. And then make a nice straight line, nice and even all the way across. And this is going to be your wing. Now, how big should your wing be? Should you only make a half inch? Should you only make a quarter inch? Should you make an inch? Should you make an inch and a half? I mean, the options are endless. You decide, and it's trial by error. I like to do right around an inch. So we're going to fold that, nice crease. Don't paper cut yourself, those hurt. So there we have our nice first crease. But guess what? We're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we had the top side, we flipped it. Now we're taking the bottom side. We're going to do the same thing. You know, if we got a plane out there flying, and one wing's like this, one wing's like this, guess what it's going to do? It's going to crash. So we're going to take this and do the same exact thing. So same distance up, you basically want to make the exact same fold, even it up on both sides, so you match them up, and then straighten it nice and down, and do the exact same thing. So now, step 10, what are we going to do? We're going to unfold it, and guess what? Boom, paper airplane. We got it. And guess what step 11 is? It's fun time. We're going to fly it. We are going to fly, fly, fly. Fly all day long. And this is what happens. You fly it, and then you run, you get it, and then you fly it again. And it goes on for hours, and hours and hours and hours. So, now that we all know how to make an paper airplane, do you have any questions? Sure, you could use cardboard. I wouldn't suggest it. It seems a little bit too heavy for this situation, but why not give it a try?
How about toilet paper?
I mean, you could use toilet paper, but probably only in the bathroom. What other type of paper is it? Crepe paper? Sure. Once again, you want something a little bit less thick, but also not so thin, right? We want some density, but not so heavy it's going to fall to the ground like it's a rock, right? So now I want to see how the assignment turned out for you guys. I want you to show me your planes. Oh, geez, the whiz, this is the best one. This one looks like you got it. You got a paper airplane in your future, buddy. I like it. So let's review before I get out of here. What did we learn today? Well, we learned how things fly, right? They got to go up, but guess what? There's a bunch of elements, a bunch of things that are going to affect how it's going to go up. It's going to soar. There's wind hitting it. There's things all around it. We're going to angle the wings a certain way. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go all around. And depending on how we actually form it, how we make our folds, how we bend the wings, that's going to basically determine the different style of plane that we had. Then we made one. This one's good for distance. Nice, long, fly, fly.
soaring through the air like that majestic bird we talked about. Caw-caw. Caw-caw. We answered your questions, and you guys made one yourself. So now, guess what? Guess what's in your future? A lifetime of being an airplane enthusiast just like me. And my name is Joseph Travis, or Mr. Travis. Thank you.